Then Lapis gleefully skipped out of the meeting hall. What a free spirit, I thought as we moved on to the next topic. If it'll be only 5 of you in enemy territory, don't you think that's a little too dangerous? I firmly agree. If anything happens to Sir Rimuru, we would never recover, no matter how many battles we win. Indeed. I certainly understand that a vast army isn't what we need in this final clash, but if things go awry, someone needs to serve as a shield for Sir Rimuru. Zoe, Gabble, and Hikuro, in that order, all expressed their opposition to my plans. They discreetly kept quiet about it while Lapis was around, but now they made their grievances clear with me. Master Hikuro's right, you know. And if push comes to shove, I'm prepared to take the heat for Sir Rimuru, too. I'd kin to be a meat shield, you know. Gopta. Ah. A meat shield. I couldn't help but imagine that in action. I really wish I didn't. Hikuro, stop teaching stuff like that to Gopta. Of course. I just thought, though, it is quite important to teach him how to prepare for such eventualities. I understood what Hikuro was getting at. It was just that my heart didn't agree with it. I mean, I'm glad all of you are concerned for me, but you're all really important to me, too. I don't want to kick this off with a strategy that assumes we'll have to take casualties. If we want to avoid that, I think we should pull all our resources together for this effort. Quite true. Perhaps we are a little ahead of ourselves. I'm not sure I was convincing too many people. Even Benimaru and the rest seem to be on Hikuro's side. If I were them, maybe I'd feel the same way. Still, though, I appreciate the thought, but I still don't want anyone to die here. Maybe it's selfish of me, but I want to put my own feelings first. Anyway, I'm not gonna run a strategy that demands any loss of life. Let's stick with that assumption as we discuss the final stages of our war against the Empire. Everyone nodded at my words. They seemed ready to participate in this discussion, regardless of their personal feelings. If I could begin, Sir Rimuru. Yes, Zoe. I have a replication of mine undercover within the Empire. There's been a number of obstacles preventing me from reaching the capital just yet. But it does seem that their security network is looser than usual. I was thinking of using shadow motion to meet with you once Lapis organizes the transport. Would that be alright? I see. That's reassuring, actually. Zoe always serves me well as my shadow, and that really hits home with situations like this. He's a great fighter, too, and taking a closer look at him, he went and evolved on me as well. Benimaru's awakening triggered a blessing for Sally, evolving him into a dark soul ogre. As the shadow to Benimaru's light, he's now a darkness chaos elemental and a spiritual life form. While his energy doesn't match Benimaru's, he's already stronger than Clayman, and can hold his own against former demon lords like Free. He's basically a servant deity now, the perfect power-up for our top scout as we head into the Empire. That's a very reassuring offer, Zoe. But what about Masayuki? I will have a replication of mine continue monitoring him. If something happens, I think I can handle it well enough. He sounded confident. In that case, added Diablo, perhaps I could install Venom as a companion for Masayuki. If we keep it a secret from the boy, I think Venom could play the role of a monitor and bodyguard at the same time. That would lighten Zoe's load, and it'd also provide some extra insurance. Venom's surprisingly sensible for a demon. I'll pair him with Masayuki. I bet they'll become great friends. That means your second in command would be unavailable, keep in mind. Kahahaha. That will not be a problem. With Tensura and the others around, my own work will not be affected at all. Sounds great, then. Are you good with that, Zoe? It would be more certain, perhaps, to provide a visible bodyguard, rather than monitor him from the shadows. I would be able to save the energy that replication consumes as well. Excellent. Let's do it. Alright, let's go in that direction, then. Yes, my lord. I'll get on it right away. So Venom would be Masayuki's escort, and Zoe would instead join us on site. The only thing left to decide is whether to deploy our army and how. Now, as we fight alongside Worgen, do you think we'd need a show of force for the Empire? Our first and third armies are back in the capital, but the second army is sidelined. Geld is still in the middle of his evolution nap, so we'll just have to hold the fort without him for now. Sir Rimuru, is this where we may come in? Whoa, wait a sec. We're shipping out first. Gabble and Gopta were surprisingly hyped, but I decided to keep this mission small like a SWAT team. Bringing a crowd just makes us a target for nuclear magic. Against the Empire's elites, regular armies are just dead weight. What do you think, Hikuro? Ho ho ho. I know exactly what you're thinking, Sir Rimuru, and I see it as the right thing to think. Okay. No novices, then. And we shouldn't take any low-ranking soldiers in either. I believe that's best for minimizing casualties, yes. And so it'll just be the Goblin Riders from my corps. And Team Hiryu from mine will be readied for combat. The Goblin Riders are top-tier decoys, and Gabble's awakening has pushed all of Team Hiryu past their rank. I'm a bit worried about their self-control, but they're definitely ready for action. Alright. Gopta and Gabble, I want you to start prepping along those lines. Oh, wait a second. I was about to set it in stone when I remembered something else important. Gopta, can you guys call upon your Star Wolf partners right now? Huh. Like, Ranga hasn't finished the awakening process yet, so all the other wolves under him are still sleeping, too, right? Oh. Guess that's a no, then. Right. You'll stay here on standby, then. Baba. Don't tell me you weren't aware of your limitations, Gopta. Sorry. Gopta's moping, but I'm leaving the goblin riders behind. Even at A+ rank, they just don't fit this mission's needs. Sorry, buddy. Hey, it's not your fault. Hook up with rigor and focus on security within our own borders, alright? Yes, sir. So with some regrets, Gopta's army had to stay here. Which meant our only other deployable troops were. How's Team Kurenai doing, Benimir? No problems there. Every one of them's achieved a rank of A. Perfect. They had an excellent commander in Gobwa, and some of them had even evolved into ogre mages during the blessing process. They ought to be reliable enough if we send them out. Zoe, how about Team Kuriyami? They're deployed across the land, gathering intelligence and gauging the enemy. I can call them back if necessary. No, keep them working behind the scenes. Very well. No need to demand them back here. The importance of their intelligence ops went without question, so let's have them keep that up. That just leaves Team Reborn. I'd love to deploy them, Sir Rimuru. They're ready and willing to play a more active role at any moment. Yeah. Xian's Team Reborn is now A-ranked and nearly immortal. Since they're rudderless without her, I'm keeping them home to guard Tempest. Nah, I think we'll leave them. Oh no. Team Reborn's more of a bodyguard force than an army, you know. I'd feel safer if you're with me instead, Xian. Ah, I see. Xian readily accepted that. My deployment set. 400 A-rank elites from Teams Hiryu and Kurenai. It's a terrifyingly strong division, yet I still can't shake this unease. Now, Ultima and Carrere, I have a job for you too. Oh, absolutely. Anything you like. What is it, my lord? Ultima, I want you to continue accompanying Gabble's force as an intelligence officer. Carrere, I'll be assigning you support duty for Gobwa this time, not Geld. Oh, the lizards again. Understood. I'll try to be as discreet as possible in my post. Their replies weren't exactly filling me with confidence. Ultima seemed to have a beef or two with Gabble, and frankly, I didn't believe Carrera could keep a low profile doing much of anything. Heavens, Ultima. Do you have some issues with my force, perhaps? Yes. Lots of them. Like, the way you guys act creeps me out. It's kind of hard to figure out what makes you tick, from a common sense perspective. Ha ha ha. No need to worry about that. When it comes to battle, we always take things fully seriously. And you call experimenting with the hostile fire of enemies in the middle of war being serious. Don't be silly. It's wise to try every possible tactic in order to gain an advantage in battle. Experimentation is part of that, and it's something all of us should take seriously, I think. No, it's something you should finish up before battle begins. Why do I even have to lecture you about this? I suppose having a beef or two with him is understandable. From what I was hearing, Ultima seemed to be in the right too. I'm sorry, but do you think you could put up with it this time, at least? If those are your orders, Sir Rimuru, I'll do my best with them. I was thinking that I'd need to teach them a lot of things anyway, so I'll try to see this as a good opportunity and stuff. Even with that resentful glare, Ultima was as cute as always as she evaluated Gabble. They may not get along well, but I felt like I could leave Gabble in her care. And, Carrere, well, you don't have to worry about keeping a low profile too much. Oh? She was bound to start bashing heads in battle anyway, so trying to be discreet here seemed pretty absurd to me. Instead, I just wanted Carrera to think a little more about the right time and place for that kind of thing. The number one rule I want you to remember is to keep your allies safe from damage. Beyond that, just keep quiet until the fighting starts, alright? Sure. That sounds simple enough. Is it? I wouldn't make any more demands, I promised her, as long as she absolutely abided by that one. Hopefully this would help everything work out, but... Takuro, could you accompany Gabwa as well? Certainly. Try to rein in Carrera for me, okay? Takuro nodded, sniggering a bit. We had our deployment all sorted out, or so I thought, before Ghidorah raised his hand. Sir Rimuru, if I may be so bold, I'd like to discuss something else with you. What's that? I think it might be a good idea to include the Demon Colossus in this war. Aha. Deploying the Colossus is safe, since Ghidorah has a resurrection bracelet. No casualties, but I'm torn. Is it too early to reveal our secret weapon's true power? Vester, what do you think? I asked Vester for his opinion. He replied with a defiant grin as he pushed his glasses up his nose. It might be the perfect occasion for the big unveiling, actually. I've already given a detailed report on it to King Gazel, and he's been eager to see it in action for a while. I'd like to collect data from it in all kinds of conditions, so it'd be interesting for me to see how it performs on an actual battlefield. Vesta really is a scientist at heart. He wants a show of force, and the Demon Colossus is perfect for crushing our enemies' morale. Since I'm already letting my 3 demonesses loose, I might as well give this demonstration the green light. But if the enemy sees it from us, wouldn't that be a serious technology leak? Oh, I promise we won't make that mistake. Well, if that happens, we'll just develop an even better golem next time. There's no single endpoint to technology, after all. Still, just in case, it has been equipped with a self-destruct mechanism, so there's no need to worry about any leaks. Hold on. He was making this out to be a nice, happy story, but there was one part of it I couldn't ignore. A self-destruct mechanism. That's right. Servaldor was quite insistent on having one in there. I thought he was joking at first, but I have to hand it to him, he must have anticipated a situation like that. No. He definitely didn't. I had a feeling Valdora was behind it. It was the kind of harebrained thing either he or Ramrus would come up with, given all the manga I've been feeding them. I really wish they'd stop obsessing over useless crap like this. Still, better to have it than not, at least. Alright. In that case, I don't care too much if it breaks down or falls into enemy hands, but don't be reckless with it, alright? So we can bring it out. Yep, you clear to go. And Ghidorah, we may or may not need you in battle, but I'd still like you on hand in case of emergency. By all means, Sir Rimuru. And personally, I don't want to be too cruel toward my former colleagues. The way I see it, the Demon Colossus will come into play only if they break out some new weapon we're not aware of. Ghidorah's a slippery guy. I know he switched sides the second things look bad for us, so I have to keep him loyal. The plan is simple. We just need an undeniable, overwhelming victory against the Empire. As long as we're winning, he's our best ally. So the final lineup, with Ghidorah included after all, was now set in place.